Crow, we're going to start with you. Explain to the audience who you are and why they should give a shit about you. You got like a minute. Go ahead.
Who am I and why you should give a shit about me? You probably shouldn't give a shit about me. I'm just some old guy on the interwebs. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I've been in crypto since 2017. Started off building an Ethereum mining rig. Maxed out 3 credit cards to build that rig. I was working in the mortgage industry, doing pretty well, but with a big family, still living check to check. And what is this?
Explosive collar.
Oh, okay. If you go over time, your head pops off. Basically, I just started a YouTube channel to share my journey, everything that I was learning. I had like a big epiphany. I woke up at 4 a.m. crying because so many things were clicking in my head all at the same time, and it just took over my life, really. And at the time, my wife and I were discussing whether or not we were going to work with this financial advisor for 401k or get into the crypto space. And I said, well, you take your 401k and see what you do here, and I'll get into the crypto space. And within, I think it was like 90 days, we had no debt. And had nothing to do with a 401k. So, I just kind of kept moving along on that road and sharing everything that I've done. And I've called out a lot of bullshit projects along the way that I was gladly willing to take their Bitcoin at the time. And oh gosh, I can't even remember them all. It's been so many, but I was at a time when everybody was doing paid segments. I was too, but a company would pay me a Bitcoin, and I'd read through their white paper, and then I would tell all of you that it was a shit show and to stay away. And then it became hey, can we give you another Bitcoin to delete the video? And I say, no, it's content. And then it turned in, well, we'll pay you a Bitcoin to just read our white paper and tell us what you think before you do a video. And then, no, it's got to be content. So, and I've basically just continued doing that. I speak my mind. I go with my heart, and I let time tell the tale. So it's pretty much it in a nutshell. I don't really mince words, and I don't.
Yo, Crypto Blood, how much time did I say Jason had?
How long is that?
I said a minute.
It took you longer than that to do 8 push-ups, Adam. Come on.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. All right.
Steph, shut up.
He gives me the nod like, hey, go ahead.
So this is a participation trophy. Everyone on stage gets one. It just says Crypto Crow, and it's a generic logo. This one is not. This one actually has Mind Your Biz logo on it. It's for best micro influencers. Usually when we do these awards, I know they're stupid, but the votes do count. And usually they're dominated by the titans in the space, the ones with millions of subscribers like Altcoin Daily, or the ones nearing them like zombies. So I wanted to give the little guy a chance. Steph Estrada, well earned.
I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. I think the best micro influencer. I guess the first time I've ever been asked to come up on stage, do push-ups, then be called a little guy. I'll take it. It's all right. It's all right. The thing about micro influence, in my opinion, I'll be very quick here, is that micro influence is one of those places that people go to on YouTube to get what they think is an unfiltered opinion. Now, I think their perception is that you're not getting bounties. I think Crow, he dispelled that myth, right? A lot of people on YouTube do. But the micro-influencers are where a lot of people go to see, okay, you don't have this massive following, so if you're telling me about something, it's probably out of passion. And I've had to take that seriously over the last couple of years, running a YouTube channel. Started it with proof-of-work mining content, talking to hardware manufacturers, and even still helping people figure out how to run that as a business, which is totally separate from just understanding how to speculate in crypto. So yeah, micro-influencer for micro niche within our niche, and love what I do.
Hey, clap for the micro guys with the macro arms.
What's up, everybody? My name's Austin, half of Altcoin Daily YouTube channel. My brother and I started the channel many years ago just as a way to share our journey in the cryptocurrency space, and also we saw, for the most part at that time, there wasn't a lot of people talking to the average person, the average man or woman. There's a lot of trading channels and finance channels. We come at the market every day from an average person's point of view, drop one video per day, demystifying the market. So thanks for being here.
Hey, Austin. You know what you won, brother? Sorry, Ben. What? Influencer of the Year. Once again, I want to clarify, these awards are dumb. They don't mean much, but the vote is real, and your audience loves you. Congratulations.
They mean a lot to me. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, audience.
They left you hanging, zombie?
I don't know. Am I next? Me. All right. Well, I actually share a very similar story, not nearly as successful as the brothers, but when I first got into
Don't sell yourself short, man. You were ahead of them for quite some time.
yeah, well, anyway, so
Oh, man.
thanks, Adam. So basically, I was really interested in Bitcoin. I heard about it in college. My friend was mining it. He was telling me to buy it at literally it was like $10 or something. I'm too busy partying, like everybody else. Who cares? A couple years later, I'm working with this guy, and he's actually paying some employees across international borders with Bitcoin. And I'm like, this thing is still a thing? He's like, yeah, man, check it out. So I buy like $100, come back a week later, it's $200. I'm like, okay, obviously that's getting my attention. But then what happened was I started going down the rabbit hole and really understanding, the censorship-resistant properties, all that fun stuff, boring stuff that nobody wants to talk about right now. But the problem is it was really technical, really complicated, and hard to understand. And I was actually seasonally unemployed for a couple months. And I just said to myself, you know what? Let me just start making some content and putting out the sort of the average. Like you guys said, explain it to a normal 5-year-old how you would have wish you were told it. And that's basically where my channel started. And I mean, I went, everything, man, lost money, got scammed, traded, and you name it, it all happened to me. And I just wanted to basically build a channel where I could just explain to people, basically don't do the mistakes that I did, and help the average person. And the bear market came, got into trading, and Adam makes fun of me because he says I'm a little too much into Bitcoin. I am into
You're somewhat of a maximalist, man.
I'm trying to warm up to it. It's just that a lot of the
Any
stuff.
Bitcoin maxis in the crowd? Raise your hand. You got two people that will ride and die.
I'm not a maxi.
Talon doesn't count.
I'm not a
Who
maxi.
cares
by
about
the way.
Talon?
But anyway, so that's my story. And we did the same thing, make videos every day, do TA, and just enjoy hanging out with the community, coming out to places like this and seeing
Kyle, K-Dub.
Sure.
So you actually won the Influencer of the Year a couple times in a row. This year, you were the closest to winning without actually winning. So we got you a belt called Most Snubbed. It's like the closest to almost being a winner. There's a happy face on the side, and there's a sad face on the side. Congratulations.
It sounds worse than it is, I think. I don't know. Most snubbed. It sounds.
Yeah, Benjamin Cowan he really hated he got the word
No,
last year.
I will
hated
hang
the
it
title.
proudly with the others in my
Hey,
room. So.
BitBoy, the floor is yours. Have at it, brother.
What's up? My name is Ben Armstrong. I run BitBoy Crypto. If you don't know who I am, then you're doing it wrong. That's what I would probably say. But I love coming to these events. I love hanging out, meeting people, hanging out with my friends in the industry up here. Getting to meet some new faces and connect. And I run the People's Channel, and that's how it goes.
And this is going to take a while. So one thing that Ben does great is he's humble enough to help other people grow. Last year, he dominated the awards so much that we had to make a new rule. He could only be nominated for one thing. But that actually opened it up for his people. So we got Frankie Candles, who won Best TA Personality. Ben grew him from scratch.
Frank is awesome.
We have Around the Blockchain that tied for Best Daily Show with Baron Von Hustle, The Boring Show. I got more. Go ahead in the meantime, Aaron.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Aaron, other half of Altcoin Daily. We started the channel, like Austin said, from the point of view of the everyman. Daily content. We live and die by every video. So far this bear market, our content is still performing relatively well. But next week, it could not. But, we go hard every single video to provide value to the community. And I get inspired by every single content creator up here. Crow, Seth, BitBoy, awesome coverage from the Bahamas lately. Tom, Marin, awesome astrology content. And I get inspired by everybody out in the audience and everybody we've been meeting this week and everybody who comments on the videos and everybody we get a chance to meet at any crypto conference. So definitely come up to us afterwards and say hi. And, thanks for being here.
Aaron taught me how to do YouTube. So
He's also a damn good-looking guy.
you can thank Altcoin Daily for the monster they created with me. They gave me all their information.
Hey, Ben, who are these guys?
We got DZ and Justin Williams. Where's Justin Williams at in the house?
Williams.
There he is. You got a belt. That's good because, your pants will probably stay up as is. Well,
That was for best NFT channel.
Yeah. Well, I'd just like to say on behalf of all my people, I don't need awards. I could care less about awards. We've accomplished everything we've accomplished in crypto, on behalf of the people, and we're going to continue to do that. But I think it's very important to push new content creators in the space. A lot of times people come up to me and they'll say like, oh, it would be so great if I could be on your channel, or, you don't know what it's like, being my size and stuff like that. I remember Crypto Crow was the first person that ever treated me like I was somebody in this space. Crypto Zombie helped me out so much at different times when I was nobody. Altcoin Daily, exactly the same thing. A lot of funny stories around them helping me in my content. So we love pushing people. We love pushing new content creators, because this isn't look, guys, we've all made it. If people up on the stage, we already done made it. There's people out here that have done made it. There are people that haven't, and it's important for us to give those people the same opportunities that we had.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to actually say something too. I know this is like an influencer thing, and I actually kind of sometimes hate that term, influencer. Educator.
We call them educators now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of educators, something I've been pushing recently, especially on my channel, and obviously the not your keys, not your coin thing, but most importantly, I think everyone out here should be an educator in the sense that, okay, not everyone has a YouTube channel, not everyone has, a million Twitter followers, but I think it's really important, when you're going to that holiday event with the family and you're explaining to people what's going on, what has happened in the crypto space, that there has to be a big difference between decentralization and centralization, and that all the mess and all the problems and this liquidity crisis and deleveraging and bad actors in the space have all been centralized actors, you know what I'm saying? And it's very important that we educate the masses to know the difference between the protocol, which is still running, still doing its thing, crypto, which is still doing its thing, decentralization, which is still doing its thing. Crypto is not SBF. You know what I mean? So you guys got to give yourself some credit too.
If it was, I would be coming after it. Yeah.
I think we got to run through this so we can get to the actual panel. So there's only one damn award that actually means something. It's called a golden up vote, because it's a write-in vote. The award, the people have to go to a form and actually write someone's name in and spell it correctly. This year, BitBoy did not win it. He's won it every single year since it's been around, because this year I did a little shenanigans. I decided to count all his people and not him himself. So the Hit Network, Frankie Candles, Meta Money, and NFT Alpha, they got the golden upvote.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And BitBoy did win something. We created a new award called Crypto Lifestyle for someone who shares their life, a vlog
It's
style.
because I'm an Instagram lifestyle influencer.
Kind of, yeah. Someone who actually talks about their life. You got best crypto lifestyle. Congratulations.
Perfect, thank you.
It goes
Perfect.
behind
Yep.
Hit Network, though.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these belts.
Tom Crown, have
Can I
at
get
it.
a Gucci one?
Yo. I'm Tom Crown. You've probably seen me here. I'm seeing on the stage today. I see a few more people here. That's good. I don't know. I'm a YouTuber. I do charts. I trade. I'm sitting here listening to everybody. Last year, this was my first event, and it's pretty wild to look over the last year and to see how much has changed. Not just the market and the price, but for me and my channel and growth and experiencing crypto, it's been magical, and I owe it to everybody out there. So I'm happy to be here.
Is there any commentary on that, or are we just...
No.
Okay.
No, there's not.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Marin. You might know me on TikTok. I talk about astrology. Oh, thank you, sir. I talk about astrology in my life, and my life led me into crypto and predicting crypto price action with astrology. So that's what I do.
Woo! All right. Now on to the damn panel. We got that out the way. Why hasn't mass adoption happened yet? We've been talking about that since 2017. Where is it? How can normal people, they're not accepting NFTs and metaverses and cryptocurrency the way that we would like? Let's start with you. Who do you want to start?
The one that everybody wants to hear from, I think, Marin Alton.
Oh, I like that.
As someone who does not come from a technical background, I studied philosophy in college. It's not that cool to be like, how do I deposit into like a vault deep? Like, that's not something that normal people are generally interested in. There has to be a certain amount of euphoria and interest and something fun, and I think that's why a lot of people will be driven into the market by NFTs. But I think that a lot of the reason why any topic in the world doesn't really take off is just because it's not fucking fun. Like that's just the bottom line. And until, I mean, I would say there's already entries into that, and most of it is profile picture NFTs. But I know I don't have the attention span for things that are that complicated or that serious. So the average retail user probably doesn't either. But yeah.
Austin, how do we make it fun? Because it's not fucking fun.
I think that we're watching mass adoption happen in real time right now. And what I mean by that is everybody in 2021 had an NFT. Celebrities were shilling their NFTs to all their followers back then. In 2020, when the Federal Reserve printed 60% or whatever the number is of all money that's ever been created in that year, that was a huge advertisement for Bitcoin. Now the hiccup that we get to is that for every like 10 people that find out and jump in, 6, 7, 8 of them end up getting burned, not getting the education, or thinking because, damn, this NFT project went to zero, or this cryptocurrency rug pulled, that represents all crypto, when in reality, it comes down to, just like in the internet days, just because 5 projects are garbage doesn't mean that the underlying technology isn't there. So right now we're just looking for, we just need a huge, onboarding of education as we watch the market work itself out in real time.
I'm going to jump in here a little bit just to, I think right now the crypto space is such that, especially now with the FTX stuff, and all these other elements that are associated with it.
Boo!
Boo! The negative side of crypto, I think a lot of laymen's are looking at it as such a dangerous Wild West. We used to think it was the Wild West in 2017, and we learned to navigate a lot of these things. But if you're not a hardcore advocate of blockchain, then you're probably not paying it much mind. So it's like, how do you get your kids to eat vitamins? You kind of have to break them up and stuff them in something they'll eat. And I think ultimately that's going to be the next major thing, I think, with blockchain. When blockchain becomes the underlining layer to everything that we already use, such as like our Uber apps or our social media or, whatever it is that we're already consuming, blockchain, I think, for the mass use case is that's what it's going to take, I think, for a lot of people, because nobody wants to sit around trying to understand a light paper or a white paper or, how blockchain technology works. People that aren't speculating on it as a financial instrument don't really care that much, right? They just want to swipe a card or they want to push a button and everything work. So I think that's the challenge, and I think that NFTs, while making it more interesting for some and capturing one element of a user base, and there are different use cases, right, that are slowly bringing more people in, but it's also kind of against the grain. And I think that the blockchain space in general still has so much more to iron out, which I think ultimately is starting to really happen. And I think we'll have kind of a quickening as we continue to move forward, as the importance and the relevancy of decentralization starts to play its role by ultimately protecting us from, like others have said, these centralized actors that are playing the majority for fools and just taking their money and using it for whatever means they feel is exciting, it seems like. So, yeah, I mean.
So, Crow, you touched on one thing. You said most normal people, they just want to be able to swipe a card and get it done. They don't need to know how it works.
Right.
So, I mean, Seth Estrada, how would you make the process easy without, and you too, Crow, he's next to you. That's why I picked on you. Do it together. How do you make the process easy without making it, dangerous?
Well, let's talk about what the process is at first. I'm going to ask the audience a question real fast. By show of hands, who here has their own private key device? Hardware wallet or a wallet on your phone that you've got the private key to? Keep your hand up. You got the private key to this, okay?
No, everybody write those down and pass them up, please.
Yeah, right. You spoiled the ending, Ben. Okay, so we're going to do a little call over and turn now. You all know this rhyme. Not your He said it right. Not your keys, not your cheese. It is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. You got to start with those first principles. If you don't possess these, you don't possess coins. And if the person who's issuing that card doesn't give you a way to hold these, it doesn't matter how simple it is to spend at the end point. But these are questions I know Crow was alluding to. This is the fundamental that Crow was alluding to. We need it to be simple at the point of sale, but when we go home, we want to know that how we're spending is secure. A bit like a vault at home for a bearer asset. Some ingots, some silver, gold. If you're into that sort of thing at home, not going to judge. But it needs to be that simple.
The only thing that does scare me a little bit right now is the idea of the national digital IDs, the CBDCs, and how I think a lot of people that are currently looking at crypto and blockchain as something that could be exciting or fun, and maybe, you know, my friend or my uncle or my cousin or somebody's made a lot of money in it, but I don't understand it. I think some people are going to be forced into getting a better understanding of this, and the other side of this mass adoption equation is going to be like brute force through. You have no choice. You're going to use this. You're going to understand what it means and what it does, and then from there, I think that's when we'll start getting some of the more rebellious.
You're kind of alluding to that. It's coming whether you like it or not. That involves a lot of industries, such as Hollywood. So a little known fact here: the Altcoin Daily brothers, Austin and Aaron, are also SAG actors. And I know that we did a Hollywood panel together at another conference, and they basically talked through how the space like adapted. First, they shunned their noses at it; they wanted nothing to do with it. And now they're like, "How does this help me?" So, how can regular industries help with mass adoption, also not being too dangerous by doing something they don't know what they're doing? Oh, and also, this belt goes to this guy in the audience, Zach McKenna. He helps us behind the scene a lot. So here you go, brother.
Yeah, it's cool to see different sectors of the world, Hollywood, artists, whatever it is, adopting NFTs, blockchain technology over the past couple years, because in the past it was really just finance bros or tech bros. You know, mass adoption is going to happen when we get dApps that people actually like to use. And, you know, over the past couple years, the industry has been working itself out in real time, and there's been, you know, bridge hacks, exploits, and a lot of people think that's the end, but it's actually better that that's happening now compared to when we get 1 billion users, or when, you know, most of the world is onboarded. And there's a tech saying, you know, people tend to overestimate technology in the short term and underestimate it in the long term. And, you know, what it's going to take for adoption is just for people to build great dApps that people actually want to use to onboard users. Probably won't even know they're using cryptocurrency, or if they do, they'll call it whatever the brand is. And yeah, that's what I'd say, Austin.
Hell yeah, and let's remember, guys, that the revolution in all this is digital ownership. So when you're asking the question, how can corporations benefit from cryptocurrency, it's just the progression of Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Web 1, you know, nobody the internet was very new, it was a very nascent space. It wasn't until Web 2 that apps got built on the internet, like Aaron was saying. That brought the people in, like the emails, the Ask Jeeves, whatever. And then Web 3 is this smart contract technology that eliminates the middleman. So now all of a sudden, we can have decentralized lending and borrowing without the need for a bank. We can have digital ownership. As the world only trends more digital, we can have ownership online instead of just Amazon, Google, whoever, these big companies owning all your data. It goes back to the individual, and that's the benefit that these companies are trying to work out.
A lot of you guys have big platforms, and you got to understand something right now. I haven't heard anything about social media and how social media plays such a big role in this entire ecosystem, specifically now with NFTs. So how does ushering in PFPs, because that's what we have right now with NFTs, how does ushering people in as mass adoption on social media go with this NFT ecosystem that we're dealing with?
People get burned in crypto.
And speaking of NFTs, Bear Von Hustle here, one of the Council of the Apes, he won something for the Boring Show. There you go.
Congrats. People get burned in crypto because they have low information and feel a sense of FOMO. That's how most people get burned. And that happens in bull markets. That happened throughout 2021. People getting into cryptocurrency now, even if they have low information, maybe don't feel a sense of FOMO, probably have the possibility of having more information, and they don't get burned. Usually they make money, or at least further themselves in some way. And as far as social media goes, it's just on us to educate well, make sure people understand, and it's on the users really to really be responsible for themselves and really try and understand before they make big moves. And really the problem is that everything in crypto is tied to money, since everything is tokenized. There were trials and tribulations for the internet throughout the 90s and 2000s too, but nobody called Ask Jeeves a scam just because it failed to Google.
I have to ask Jeeves so many things, and they never give me the answers. I call Ask Jeeves a scam. Ask Jeeves was a scam. Marin, You're a TikTok queen. That's probably your biggest platform. It's probably the most mainstream platform, especially against a younger audience. And a big portion of your content is non-crypto. So you have to deal all the time with people that might not know what Web3 are, and you still know the benefits. You try and communicate it. What's the biggest hurdle you get in having that audience be receptive of the Web3 concepts?
Yeah, I think that there's a certain barrier of it's not something that's directly intuitive. There's no way to just innately understand what a blockchain is. Like, you have to perform a little bit of labor in order to search for that. So a lot of people will be in my comments asking the same questions over and over. How do I get into this? How do I get into this? It takes a little bit more effort and drive as a person in order to actually execute on that and find a platform that makes sense to you. I know personally, like, if I were to Google like how to get into crypto, I would probably be facing a lot of videos or sources that I did not understand until I found maybe a video, a platform that actually felt like I was related. I could relate to it. I could interpret it. So there's a little bit of a barrier to entry because it's not quite like there's not a WikiHow that's super simple on how to get into crypto. You have to understand a wallet, understand how to enter an exchange and transact with your bank. So there's more. It's similar to how anytime you have an ad or anytime you have a sponsorship, you're thinking about how many clicks to, like, the sponsor is like, how many clicks will that user or viewer have to take to get to my website? Similarly, with anything crypto related, that user has to generally make a lot of clicks and a lot of a journey in order to get to the final outcome of either getting onto an exchange, buying something, or using any sort of DeFi product. So that amount of steps, I think, is somewhat of a barrier to entry when people are not willing to put in that work because their pain point is not big enough to execute on that. Obviously, over time, when things are more streamlined, when I think every social app will probably have a wallet in it of some kind, when we have things like social tokens or like even CBDCs where everyone will have to learn very quickly, I think that just the amount of like manual people are lazy. Like, if I was new and I wanted just a little bit like more extra money, I probably wouldn't do all this work to figure out what a hardware wallet was and transact. But now that things are being, I'd say, with the state of the world becoming more encouraging more individuation or taking control of things like your own assets or money, I think that more people will have a big enough pain point in order to continue that search on. But for now, my comments are 90% all the same. Like, what is Bitcoin? Like, it's just, yeah. So they'll find on their own.
Speaking of the same, Tom Crown, your life has changed a lot in a year. This time last year, this was your first conference, and you were doing it as a hobby. And then you're making a living out of educating and helping people out. Don't shake your head at me. Yes, you are. No. Yes, you are. So,
wasn't a hobby.
Well, you're less of a hobby now. We're just going to argue.
That's true.
We're just going to argue, Tom.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
So, since you've gotten more into it over the year, what are the most common questions that you're faced, and how do you answer them?
How to win all your trades, how to get rich quick. Questions that don't have answers, I think, get asked all the time.
Tom, this is what me and you are frenemies.
The topic was, where is mass adoption? And maybe looking back at last year, it feels like we have less people. Well, I think it's obvious that's because it's not really as exciting. There's not as much going on. But if you look back 2 years, 3 years, mass adoption happened. It's happening. At what point do we say we have mass adopted when everyone is in crypto? I mean, that's a hard ask. I don't think that's going to happen for a long time. But the amount of people today versus 2018, 2019 is tenfold. Easy. I think by this time in 4 years, we'll see virtually everyone using it or interacting with crypto in some way. So I think we're there.
Ben, do you think this time in 10 years, everyone's going to be using cryptocurrency?
In 10 years?
Or Web3 concepts?
Look, I just want to say this. Great job, Tom. Tom hit it on the head there. Like, guys, what do we want? How many people do we need? What's the line? Where's the Mendoza line? If you would have been at this conference last year, which I was and Tom was, people were going insane over metaverse. NFTs were everywhere. I went on a show and famously told everyone a bear market is coming, and everyone said, no, it's mass adoption. Michael Saylor said to me on an interview, he said, well, these market cycles, they don't really, it's irrelevant now. If you ask people last year, everybody would said it's here. The opportunity that everybody has, because once again, now everybody's saying it's not here, it's vast. It's a very large opportunity. I think Tom, like I said, he hit it. I'm just sitting over here smiling while Tom's talking. He gets it. He understands. Guys, mass adoption is not some kind of magical switch that you flip on and you flip off. And you say, oh, this many people. Guys, I have more people watching one of my live streams today in the middle of a bear market. And let's just say obviously people know the last few weeks have been crazy for us. But if we were to go back 3 months ago, we still had more people watching our live streams at one time than the peak of the market back in 2017, 2018. There are so many more people in crypto. Guys, you ain't early. I'm sorry. You ain't early when it comes to investing in crypto. That part is here. You are still early in understanding crypto because like Marin said, you have people in here that come into your comments and they're putting money into it and they still don't even know what they're putting money into. When it comes to mass adoption, there is a level of it where it's like HTTP protocol, right? Or I know that's redundant because the P is protocol. But the point is, how many of you guys use the internet every day? That's a stupid question, right? Everybody. How many of you type something into a URL bar? Okay. How many of you in this room can explain the way that protocol works to take you to the website? Raise your hand.
Mind your biz, raises hand.
Of course, there are people. What percent? 5% of the people in here? As we move more towards people using crypto in an everyday basis and moving blockchain or using blockchain on an everyday basis, it's just the kind of situation where there is an element of it when you're using it, you're not going to necessarily know that you're using it. When it comes to our ecosystems and our dApps, hold on, can we please like take a pause for a moment of silence for Solana?
That was a serious question. Moment of silence. Go. 5 seconds. Ready? Yeah. Go. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I did that.
So, but the point is, when we look at our protocols and our layer ones, and we look at Ethereum and we look at Cardano, and we look at some of the major players, your HBARs, your Algorands. I believe ICP, believe it or not. Obviously, if you've been watching my channel, you know they were sabotaged by Sam and FTX. But the fact is, when you look at these guys, like, how many of these things outside of NFT dApps are we using on a daily basis? Not that many. Why? Because of the gap between the investors and the users. That's where the adoption must take place. Guys, blockchains kind of suck right now. Like, have you ever like tried to use a blockchain game? Not many of them are great. They're buggy. We're a long ways away from these being able to take over to where, like with gaming, where you have literal console games that are in equal value, or where you have blockchain games that are literally equal value to console games. It will come in the future, but I just really like, guys, mainstream adoption's a meme. Like, I don't know if you guys understand that. Like, great, we're here. He said these awards are a meme too. That's fantastic. But mainstream adoption's a meme. You never actually get there. What's important is you follow along with the bell curve. And you guys, when it comes to using and understanding, you're further on the early adopter side than we are on the backside. By the time things are on the backside, all the opportunity is gone. Your opportunity for making money in crypto and investing in crypto and being early in crypto startups, it's getting very small. And so right now, I think it's a very pivotal time as we move to a place where we may have one or two like major cycles left before we do hit that crescendo and things are going on where we've now busted open the floodgates and there's no opportunity left. So I really encourage everybody. My biggest mistake in crypto when I got in the early days was not understanding what I was investing in. Make sure you guys understand what you're investing in.
So, Ben, you actually lead into the only question of relevance I have before we hop into the crowd and take questions. You said mass adoption is a meme. I wanted to end the actual talk portion of it by asking guys, is it necessary? How much of it do we mean? Because we say it all the time. We've been saying it for 5 years, screaming it. Mass adoption is coming. Yeah, mass adoption.
The reason we
do
say
we
it,
actually need it to succeed?
The reason we say that and the reason it becomes a meme is because in your brain you equate that to making money and having big bags.
Also, because like if you think about Web2 or the internet, if someone was talking about mass adoption, then how do you qualify that? Because you could say now that mass adoption is wherever, like, how do you, the qualification is a little nebulous, and it seems like an ever-escaping goal where there will always be the next level. Someone back in like early 2000s could think that even today this is not exactly the level that they were thinking of because they might have conceptualized it in a completely different way. So I think more the growth of usage and not necessarily one metric will be important. But yeah, I agree. It's less than a meme. It's more of just like an undefinable, like just chasing your own tail type thing. But I think that you can use also logic to see how things are growing or increasing through market cycles for now, which is on the like over time on the upswing. In the immediate term, obviously more down, but in the larger spectrum of things, it is only going up simply due to like population growth, I would say, inherently. Well, I don't know about that actually anymore, but that's another topic.
Absolutely. It's a nuanced issue, and there is no one answer. Feel free to interrupt each other and argue this to death. I believe Aaron wants to go.
Hell,
you want to go?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to add real quick. Yeah,
Go.
let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. No, I just wanted to add on to what Tom, BitBoy, Marin, and everybody was saying, that the next step for adoption, before we hit that crescendo BitBoy was talking about, is a decoupling of the different sectors of crypto from the price of Bitcoin. And we're already seeing that to an extent. Ethereum's kind of doing its own thing now, but still the market is heavily tied to the price of Bitcoin. And eventually it won't be, whether it's a great game that brings on users and people play, regardless of market conditions. Maybe DeFi Kingdom, who knows? Maybe something not invented yet. But that's the next step that I'm looking for.
Sir, do you work for DeFi Kingdoms? No, I do not. Why do you have a DeFi Kingdom shirt on?
Okay, because I would say it's cryptos. One of cryptos.
Just say mass adoption. Just say mass adoption.
Best kept secret, dream team of dream teams, grinding, developing. They're resilient. They've been through hell and back, and they keep grinding. And okay, tokenomics, use case, on and on and on. I could go.
You're right. No difference. No difference.
Mass adoption.
Get that man a job. Somebody hire him.
All right, let's go to the crowd. Who has a question? I believe the very fashionable girl in the pink does.
Hey guys, Metamono from Metaverse Express. I am a Web3 and Metaverse journalist. In journalism, we say journalism is the first pass of history. And in a sense, you all are journalists. You are facilitator of information. And I'm sure at the end of this year, you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, there are things that I shouldn't have said. There are things that I shouldn't have done. And when we talk about mass adoption, you too have to ask yourself, are you ready for the 99% of non-crypto natives who are gonna come here looking at you, seeking information? How are you going to look at 2022 and go into 2023 and be a source of reliable, trustworthy information for the 99% of crypto natives who are going to come here looking to learn from you?
Well, we like to cite our sources on Altcoin Daily and just, not make too many personal predictions. Of course, it's the job of investors even amateur investors, to try and, figure out what's coming next. But cite our sources with, different articles or different prominent people, builders in the industry, and say, this is what they're saying. Make your own decision.
Mona, you asked a question yesterday, and it also took like 4 minutes to get out. The elevator pitch of that is, how are they going to give out trusted information to their audience?
Trustworthy and reliable.
Yeah, so look, I think this is a very important question, because I think this is a very important, relevant issue to what we're talking about with, the mainstream adoption. When we look at these Bitcoin cycles, it's different this time, right? That's what everybody says. It continues to be the same cycle after cycle. What does this mean? This means that we always take 3 steps forward and we always take 2 steps back. We did not go to the lows of the last bear market. We won't, in my opinion. I know some people are saying Armageddon, whatever. But the fact is, we even in this cycle went down below the previous all-time high of $20,000. So you're constantly moving backwards. You're going very far ahead to the point where mainstream adoption is here, and then crypto is going to zero. We keep bouncing back and forth between those two ideas. And I just want you guys to think about, what if we were to go 3 steps forward and 1 step back? Maybe not 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Yes, I like this guy's voice.
He really doesn't need a mic.
I like this guy's voice.
You all just yell yes. I like his energy. Yes.
He does not.
Yes.
So look, here's the deal. A lot of people know that, number one, we look at the stock market 2.0 bros. We look at what's going on with FTX. We look at the bad actors, your Kevin O'Leary's. You look at these bad actors in the space. Guy, I tell you this, and I want everybody to mark this down. Within 1 month, you guys will find out who Kevin O'Leary is.
Hey, go for it. Just go for it. You got a mic. Go for it.
Kevin O'Leary and WonderFi are tied to some really, really bad things. And you guys are going to find this out way more complicit than this FTX. If y'all haven't noticed, when I start talking about stuff, I'm not just running off at the mouth. We have the stuff. So he is a bad actor. We need to remove these people because when the traditional finance comes in to the space, they try to turn it into traditional finance, which we know by default is scammy. That's the way the banks operate. Bank run on Tether, great. Let's all go do a bank run on banks and you'll find they don't have the money, period. But here's the issue, okay? That's number one. Number two, I regret to the depths of my soul ever doing coin or token promotion videos. I hate the fact that I did those. I did not do those from a malicious intent. I didn't understand the naivete of myself when it came to the projects controlling the narratives of what they want and pumping and dumping on the back end. I think token promotions have to go away. And people can sit here and they can say, you sound so hypocritical. You made money with them. Well, yeah, if I wouldn't have made money through token promotions, then I wouldn't be able to be on this platform and tell you that I regret it. Even the money is beside the point.
Agree. Like I think people don't, like once you, I know this because like my literal only sponsor partner ever was Celsius. Like, oh my God, I thought I'm going to hold out for like someone that I'm like proud to say I'm partnered with. And then I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So even when it's not even a project, I think that like with trustworthiness in this space, I'm at the point where it's like I literally only really talk about Bitcoin and sometimes ETH when it doesn't relate to anything else. Because
I'm going to totally disagree with all of this.
Well, before you do,
just so everybody knows,
but there's a reason for
it doesn't matter what people's opinions are on it. The fact is, legislation is coming for this. And so you can say, like, yes, we love to do these token promotions and we'll take money from people, but I'm telling you, there will be a day coming in within the next year where these laws are changed and there will be ways to do them that are going to be legislated, regulated, and they will be legal. But you're gonna have to jump through a million hoops to do these promotions. We're talking to people on the back end. We know this is coming. So in my opinion, if we want to clean up the space, you cannot do promotions on things that have speculative prices.
Yeah.
It makes you too, like, even if you're trying to do it from the right purpose, it doesn't work. It's a broken business model. And I know tons of people because they come up and they talk to me all the time. They say, oh, we want to tell you about this one project. We definitely think you'll like it. No, I don't. I don't want to promote your project, period. And I think if we stop out the stock market 2.0 bros, we remove your Kevin O'Learys, we remove your SBFs, we remove the people that are all about centralization, and we stop the promotion of these speculative prices. If you have a game and there's a token to your game, that's whatever. You can talk about the game. You can't talk about the speculative nature of the price. If we stop that, in this next cycle, people do not get as wrecked, and we're having much more people flowing in, not feeling like they lost all their money.
I think a big part of all of this adoption that everybody is, and I agree with everything Ben's saying, but at the same time, you know, I'm not as a big a proponent of like the paid stuff. We all do it. There's no secret, but the idea too is I look at every crypto project that is looking to get advertisement. You can't advertise a crypto project on Google. You can't buy advertising pretty much anywhere on the internet, and that's more as a protection of the general public from a lot of the scam operations, how many impersonators do each and every one of us have all over social media? I get messages daily from people, hey, did you just message me on this? No, it wasn't me. And there's so much of that. And it's not just with the educators or influencers, but it's also with crypto projects and so forth. So you can't advertise anywhere. So a lot of advertisers for very legitimate projects come through us to say, hey, look what exists. I don't generally go and I'll call a shit show. I don't really care.
He will.
I always I do. And if somebody comes to me and they say, hey, we want to pay you to promote us, I'll say, no, I will look at you and I will share with my audience what I think of your project and let them know you exist, but I'm not going to tell anybody to buy you, right? There's a big difference in pumping something and saying, hey, this may be something you're interested in. And I play a big role in that because since early on, I've always said passion to profit, right? I've spent my entire life since high school self-employed. I was an MMA fight promoter. I had a record label. I've done all kinds of things. And I did a lot of that stuff, some of it for passion, some of it for profit. But the one thing that I finally did that actually made me who I am now financially is the one thing where I woke up in the middle of the night with this emotional epiphany about something that was going to change the world, and it became my life's passion. That life's passion became my profit. And there's so many other opportunities out there, and I think that to some degree it is just as much a responsibility to show people some of the options that may inspire their passion, and it doesn't necessarily matter if we got paid to expose the public to those. So while there are bad actors in this space, there are also people running around shooting other people with guns, but then we're talking, well, let's get rid of all the guns so we can't defend ourselves in our own home. So there's so many different like variables to this kind of argument, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad
Jason, I feel you, brother. I feel you, brother. But hey, I'm usually the village idiot here, like the village idiot that just kind of guides the guys around and give you some actual insight. No one wants to hear me talk, but I do have a comment that I actually want to put on this. But first, can I get a fuck Celsius from the crowd? 1, 2, 3, fuck Celsius. All right.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. I can say everyone on this stage has their audience best interest in mind. I've known most of you since 2017. I've been the back end of it, helping you guys out. I can tell that you love your audience. You love your audience. You love your audience. You really love your audience. You love your audience enough to go to the Bahamas, risk getting assassinated. You love your audience. Tom is Tom, and Marin loves her audience. So what I'm saying here is, I do think legislation does have to happen from the back end of it. I deal so much with trying to like keep the space safe and make sure that people know that these guys actually have the best interest in mind and not someone like Trayvon James. You know, you remember who that is.
Like I'll say, like it's so easy to just be like, oh yay, like this. It's horrible.
But for legislation to happen, they're not just going to make it up. They're going. I don't know how it's happened, how it happens in the government, but they're going to eventually come to the people on this stage who they know
they already
have their best interests in mind and ask them how to do it. So Crow, they will come to you and ask you how to do it. And, you know, they're not just going to stop altogether, although BitBoy might like that. They'll find a way to do it correctly.
Well, I think that on that note, I'm never doing a token promotion again, period, ever. Like, certainly we will have exchange partners. Like, I run a business, I have 50 employees. Like, we have to bring in income. It's not like I'm sitting on a giant pile of money all the time. But the point is here is that even though there are going to be ways that, and we're having these conversations with people that are going to be making these laws, guys. The fact is there will be ways for people to do them and to do them legally, and it's going to be a lot of hoops people are going to have to jump through, and it's going to kill a lot of the questions about pump and dumps. I can tell you exactly that is going to happen for sure, but you still have a morality issue of, is it something you want to do? I love the idea of there being a way for people to continue to generate income, through content creation that's done in a smart way. For me personally, I'm never going to do that kind of thing again, because I just feel like I understand what Crow is saying about the awareness and bringing awareness. And what I've learned is it's literally impossible to be completely unbiased when you're being paid. It's literally impossible. There are things that go on subconsciously in your brain, unconsciously, to where
I have hateful emails from CEOs that will disagree with that. But
well, of course they will, because people want to keep this going. Okay, but the fact is that when it comes to this issue and it comes to promoting something and it comes to speculative prices, there's always going to be something in your brain. But in addition to that, the marketing that he's talking about, because I agree with him 100%. There are tokenomics built into these projects for marketing, and they don't have another way to market. The vast majority of these companies, they're looking for a shortcut. And when they get this shortcut, they enter into what we call the founder's dilemma, where now you promise to build something that is going to change the world, but you've made all your money now. What is your motivation to keep it going?
I do agree.
And the marketing costs that go along with this, and these companies trying to shortcut it, that is the problem, because you don't actually get the end product. How about do what Cardano did? Don't go pay a bunch of influencers to promote yourself. Actually spend years building something that works, and then your value comes to fruition, and you built a team big enough to where you need the infrastructure of a lot of money coming in to be able to support it. So I think when you look, I did a lot of sponsored videos. I disclosed 100%. Out of all the sponsored videos I ever did, I think there's like one that has absolutely crushed it, not just in a price speculation, like Algorand. I did a sponsored video with Algorand the first week that they were out. Like, guys, 99% of these coins don't make it. There's a reason why when you bring awareness to these coins, they go up for a short period of time and then they retreat. We need less coins in crypto. In my opinion, we don't need to be promoting. There's always outliers. You're going to have 1 or 2% of these new projects that come in that are crushing it, but most of them are rigged on the back end too. Go look at what happened with Aptos.
Hey.
Look at what's coming in with Sui. So,
Ben, I just want to say, I want you to clap for this. That was actually brave of you to do, man. This is a funny, stupid award show. Look at these bells. We have these little funky bells here. That was a very serious and brave thing you did. Can we give him a round of applause for that? But I do have to wrap it up on a high note. So we're gonna do what we usually do. Start with Crow. Crow, I want you to turn to your right and say something nice to the guy next to you. And Zombie, when we get to
very
you,
sexy
you can say what you're gonna
hair.
say.
It's very dark and lightly peppered and salted.
Wait, whoa. Did you just say Seth was lightly peppered and salted?
Yeah, he has this beautiful dark. See, I'm kind of white now, and I'm jealous that he has that, and I'd have to dye mine to look like.
For the love of God, Seth, do a better job than that.
I'll do what I can. So we're going to skip the beard. We're going to go to really nice shoes. You always wear the nicest shoes, Austin.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Zombie, I met you back in 2019, I believe, at the Warren Buffett lunch, and instantly got to know you. I think you have a really kind heart. I think you're anxietal to a fault, that you care about your audience, like you really care about putting.
Yeah. Zombie wanted to get the last word in there, but I want to end it on a high note, and it's going to kill him forever. So I'm not going to let him get it out next, too.
And I think you put out great content.
Thank you, man. So I was kind of quiet a lot of this. I was enjoying the banter, and I was taking it all in from everybody here. And I'm not everything that you guys said you touched on, but I wanted to go back to the name of this, which is mass adoption. And I just wanted to say, obviously, everybody up.
Stand up. You're wrapping the pan up. Stand up.
I'm standing up now?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously everybody here is an influencer, whatever. And yeah, everybody's done things, maybe got paid, et cetera, et cetera. But how many of you got paid by the CEO of Bitcoin to promote Bitcoin? And how many of you have owned or own Bitcoin? And
I get Telegram.
Why is Bitcoin still the number
all
one?
the
You know what I'm
time.
trying to say? And I'm not coming for Ethereum. I love Ethereum too. I'm all for it. But my point is there's too much extremity, like extremeness in the space, right? It's always, you always hear people say, oh, it went to 20K, and then look at it, it crashed all the way down to 3. Look at it, went to 6, and it crashed all the way down to 15, right? But what you're not seeing is the fact that we have been putting in steady higher lows. If you just get rid of all of the noise, like I'll tell you what, bear markets are my favorite time, not literally because it sucks for my pockets, but it's awesome because everyone who wants to be here is here. And I've been through, depending on what you define a bear market as, 3 at this point, and I have only seen more community engagement, more understanding. I'm seeing people in the, because we're not the mainstream, like BitBoy was saying. You got the mainstream media, you got the FBI and friggin' IRS asking him questions. You know what I mean? Like what do you? Why? No, like that. No, that like they're literally asking him because unfortunately the people in this room have a better knowledge of this space than the majority of the people out there. Like she was saying, the 99%.
So Zombie, what you're saying is your outlook is positive.
Yeah, man.
All right, now say something nice about BitBoy so we get off stage.
TCP/IP is now the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, the talkies were never gonna replace silent films.
You gotta keep going.
You know what
say
I'm
something
saying?
nice about Ben. Say something nice about Ben.
Ben, I've known Ben for a long time. I remember when his channel, he had about 6,000 subscribers, and he messaged me one day, and he was just like, dude, how do I do this? How do I grow? And, we sat down and I talked and I was just like, man, like what time you get up in the morning? He's like, yeah, usually 10:30. I was like, I don't know, start getting up at 7. You know what I mean? See how that goes. He started writing.
That changed your life forever.
Well, I guess that's how it started. He started writing scripts, he started building a team, and he grew to be one of the biggest things. And it's so funny. I said to him last night, he had came to me years ago and said, you inspired me to go forward with my channel. And I said to him, I was like, dude, I didn't even make content these past 2 days. I couldn't even put a video out because I was watching everything that he was doing. And I was just like, it's incredible how one man is literally doing the job of like the entire Justice Department of 2 different countries. And last night, what did I say to you, Ben? I said, Ben, you inspire me, buddy. And for that, I
Now I can help you get the money, filling up the bags. The same old trader from the town, and they know I'ma break it down. The same old trader with the SPACs. When the bears swing on you, then you better swing back. The world ain't ending, I ain't never been scared, but I ain't pretending I ain't have to get prepared. So when all the markets turn to bear, I ain't even really care about a dip and be a multimillionaire. Wait about a year and it won't be nothing funny. See my vision clear here at Money 2020. Everybody wanted for the low, but now they headed for the dough. This free game, so don't ask for nothing from me. You don't wanna see some slowly over time, like the girls who want a threesome, but only with a dime. Scared to make a move until you see the perfect sign, but if you down to put in work, she'll be coming with the grind. See me out in Vegas, LA, Miami. If you really understand me, you'll be richer than your granny and then every generation in your family. I can lead you to the money, filling up the bags. Now I can help you get the money, filling up the bags. The same old trader from the town, and they know I'ma break it down. The same old trader with the SPACs. When the bears swing on you, then you better swing back. Everything is down, but they just can't shake us. I came from the town, now I hang with rich bankers. Plus I get the game from everything. BitBoy, the Fast Money, Melissa Lee, guy at Dami trading spaces. Yes, I believe I'm with the best, and I even was a guest with Caleb Silver, Investopedia Express. I think crypto's gonna pop. I know it's lower from the drop. I ain't saying it's the bottom, but it's closer than the top. Say financial advice, you can question my suggestion. Not professional professor taking profits, my perfection. You still can learn a lesson from this session, no question. DCA, cause it's hard to time the bottom with perfection. It's a blessing, no guessing or stressing. When the Fed's done raising, it'll be guns blazing. I can drop a bullish song in a recession. So yeah, I'll be buying when the market ain't the healthiest. Keep it in your wallet if you wanna be the wealthiest. Cause if not your keys, not your crypto, when they steal it, you'll be hella pissed. Say it with me one time now. Fuck Celsius, I'm tapped in with Altcoin Daily. Quick code news and my man Harold Whaley. Dairy MP, Web3, Money B, and my road dog Adam. He gon' get us in for free so we can lead you to the money. Filling up the bags. Said I can help you get the money. Filling up the bags. The same old trader from the town, and they know I'ma break it down. The same old trader with the SPACs. When the bears swing on you, then you better swing back. Love y'all, DCentral. What's poppin'?